Today I'm going to show you how I make one of these bacon-wrapped sausage rolls that are really popular. They're called lots of different things. They're called like sausage bombs or meat torpedoes or all kinds of things like that. But it's basically kind of a roulade of sausage with all kinds of stuff in a filling, and it's rolled up and wrapped in a lattice work of bacon and then either smoked or grilled off. Today I'm going to cook it on the PK grill. These are really fun. They take quite a while to make, so you don't do them every day, but they always turn out really well. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I make mine. First things first, we have to get a bunch of bacon ready. I take a package and a half of bacon and use pretty cheap bacon. I mean, make it taste good, but don't buy like really expensive bacon because this is just going to be crisped and used as a filling. And I like the thinner bacon. I don't like that really thick, heavy bacon because it's harder to use for our blanket we're going to make. It doesn't stretch very well and it doesn't make a very good lattice, I don't think. So I use like inexpensive, this is Walmart brand bacon. And then I take a big cookie sheet like this and I cover it in saran wrap. And then I put a little bit of water on that saran wrap. And this will make the sausage come off of it well. And it'll allow us to press the sausage out. So just put a little bit of water on it. It helps a lot. And then cut up a couple pounds of sausage. And press it out on there like you do a pizza dough or something. Take your time. And press it out to a big rectangle about as tall as a piece of bacon is long, and maybe a little wider than that. About like this. I don't really know what the measurements are for it, but this is about the size that I do every time. And make it really even and press it out as nice and thin like this. That way, when it's nice and thin and long like this, when we roll it up, we'll get more than one curl on the inside. We take our crisped bacon that's all foamy so we can tell it's all crisp and done and set it aside. That'll be part of our filling. I'll post all the ingredients, of course, down in the description here in a moment. And now it's time to make the filling. I sprinkle on some molasses, about that much. I do the same thing with barbecue sauce. And then I put all that bacon and take it clear out to the edges. And then I put crumbled cheese in there. This is blue cheese, but you could use feta or something else. And then I sprinkle it with brown sugar. Now, because it's on that saran wrap, it will allow us to roll this up. You can use that saran wrap as a kind of a handle. Once you get it started like this, it's really pretty easy to do, especially if you put water in the saran wrap first so that it comes off of there. And you just kind of roll it up. And don't worry about getting it like super tight. Just make it snug. And then we just roll it on up. Now this is going to be very delicate after we're done with this because that sausage is pressed out pretty thin. And that's important. You don't want it really thick because then, like I say, you won't get a lot of curling in the middle. You'll only get one or maybe one spiral in the middle instead of like this one's going to be. Now this is really delicate. Like I said, it's going to start coming apart on us a little bit from time to time, but it presses right back together. And then once we get the bacon on the outside, it's held together really well. So I just kind of stick this in the fridge while that's happening to keep it from, kind of melting like sausage does and coming apart. But you can see it trying to come apart on us already right there. So into the fridge it goes. And we'll start on that blanket of woven bacon that goes on the outside. It usually takes about a package and a half. I like to pick and choose through the bacon and get real even strips that are the same width at the top as they are at the bottom. That way it makes kind of a uniform blanket. You don't want a piece of bacon that tapers a lot, in my opinion, because it makes the blanket kind of off. And then just fold up like every other piece down here to get started, just like you'd make a lattice for an apple pie or something like that. And lay a strip down, and then that'll tell you how to do the rest. You just do the opposite on the next one. And just kind of keep it snug. It's going to tighten up on its own and kind of, they always look really good when you're done. They somehow get more uniform as they cook. I think it's because it shrinks and tightens up, but Just make it kind of as uniform as you can. And now we'll take that whole sausage roll that we've made out of the fridge and with a spatula very carefully lay it on there. See how it's coming apart on us? Don't worry about that at all. It happens every time. Just press it back together. And then once it's rolled in this bacon, it will be held together and you won't have to worry about that anymore. So kind of get it started down here. And just take your time. I've made a lot of these, and if you follow these little tips and tricks, they'll come out. It'll come out really well every time. Now, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and truss it with some string. All that does is it keeps the sausage roll a cylinder. Otherwise, when you cook it, in the first part of the cook, as that sausage breaks down and melts, it will become flat, kind of like a meatloaf, and it'll be oblong, and you'll have an oval-shaped sausage roll, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. But I'll show you how I truss it up really quick here. Basically, you take that butcher's twine, cotton string, and make you a couple little overhand knots on one side. Don't squeeze it too tight. And this is just holding its shape. It's not squeezing it. And then you saw the string underneath it, just like you would. You can truss up a pork loin this way, or a prime rib, or a chicken, or anything. And then you just kind of loop the string underneath itself and tighten it up a little bit, and then do it again and again. And this will hold that shape. You'll see in the end how well it holds it. If you guys have ever made these before, generally they turn out, like I said, really flat, kind of like a meatloaf or something like that, because of the fact that that sausage kind of settles as it melts in that first part of the cook. So I'm just showing you today. This is one more step you can take, and it makes it, I think, a prettier product when you're done. Let me tie it off. Got the string. And we'll go back outside. This is that PK grill rack that I made in a previous video. I have a big prep surface over there on the right, and this holds the grill up where I like to work at it at hip level. I'm going to reuse charcoal briquettes this time. I suggest you guys do this also. When you're done with your charcoal, or if you shut off all the oxygen, these briquettes will stop burning and you can reuse them, sometimes more than once. But I'm going to get an hour and 20-minute cook out of these, and they'll still have life left in them afterwards. And it's going to keep this whole cooker at 325 to 350 degrees the whole time. I'm going to start them up with some oil and a paper towel. In a few minutes, they're burning hot. I'm going to open the vents underneath the charcoal, and we're going to put them over on one side like this to approximate an indirect cook. And that right there, that reused charcoal will cook this entire product for an hour and 20 minutes, no problem. Of course, I like to brush down my grill grates just like on the smoker with a nylon brush and some oil, and polish it with a paper towel. Make it all clean and ready. We'll let this come up to temp and go grab the sausage roll and put it on the far left side of this grill. You can see I put a little thermometer on the top of my PK grill. They don't come with them. It kind of gives you a reference as to how hot you're getting in there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a probe thermometer in the middle of this. You can see I don't like try and wrap the bacon around the ends. I just cut that part off when I'm done. You'll see other people kind of weave it around the end also. I don't ever care to do that. So this thing's sitting at 61 degrees in the middle right now. Not going to take very long. Like I say, an hour and 15 or hour and 20 minutes is usually about the time that they get to an internal temperature of 160. And I might throw a few pieces of oak chip on there to get some more smoke on the product. And here we are an hour and 20 minutes later. We're at 160 degrees in the middle of it. You can see we're holding just about 300 degrees. The whole time it sat right there. And look at how much charcoal is still left. And as you can see, I've put a few pieces of oak, just some chips on there. And there it is. The bacon's all done, and it's cooked all the way through the center. And you can see how it's still round because we trussed it up. I like to go ahead and glaze them. So I'm going to put a sweet barbecue sauce on here and brush it on, and close the lid and open all the vents and let it get rip-roaring hot in there, and tack up that barbecue sauce on the outside. Just 5 or 10 minutes. Doesn't take very long. Now we're done. So we'll take this inside and let it rest for 10 or 15 minutes. We want all that cheese and all the fat and connective tissue inside the sausage and bacon and stuff inside this to set back up, of course. So a rest is imperative. And after it's rested, we'll cut the trussing string off. It's just one more step, but it sure makes a better looking product. And then I like to trim the ends off and eat those immediately. My dog really likes that part. That's one of her favorite things on the planet. And then I will cut this sausage roll right down the middle so you can see what the final product looks like. There it is. I really hope you guys try these. They take a little while to prep, but they're fun to make, and they turn out really good. I mean, these are a showstopper. So that's how I make the bacon wrap sausage roll. There's all kinds of stuff you can do in the middle for a different filling. You can use all kinds of different cheeses and other meats, or herbs and dry rubs and things like that. So experiment with it, but please try it. If you do, comment down below and tell me how it turned out. Love to see it. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.